We give out game balls as we break down the Chicago Bears' latest win against the Carolina Panthers next on the Unbearable Sports Podcast.
I'm going to take the North and never give it back.
So that's a good pick. You get the corner. I got to go bold, right? I got to go bold for this.
Yeah, she's got some nice.
Welcome back to the Unbearable Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Brad Barron. Make sure to like and subscribe out there on YouTube. And rate the show 5 stars everywhere you get your podcasts. And make sure to rate 5 stars out on Apple Podcasts. We are up to 25 5-star ratings. Once we reach 58, we will give away a Darnell Wright jersey live on the show. And as always, happy Movember. We continue to raise money for the Movember charity, which helps support testicular cancer, men's health, and suicide prevention. All sorts of incredible things. And if you want to donate, our goal is $100. You can look down, link in the description, and you can contribute under the Unbearable Sports name. But also, I will be donating a portion of what I make with this show over to the Movember fundraiser as well at the end of the month. Thank you all, and let's get started. Let's talk about the Chicago Bears victory. It was a hard game to watch. I feel like we all kind of had to stomach through it a little bit, but the Bears won, right? To me, it wasn't as sweet as the Washington win, but it's still a win nonetheless, and especially with it coming against the Panthers really did show that they really want to give us that number 1 pick in the draft. The Cardinals, hopefully with Kyler back, can win some games. But yeah, if we can get that number 1 pick, it's going to be pretty sweet, I got to say. So the Panthers, Bears win 16-13, and overall, 162 yards passing for Tyson Bagent. We had 133 on the ground, 3.6 yards a carry. DJ Moore against his former team, 58 yards. Cole Kmet, 45 yards receiving, and TJ Edwards led the team with 12 tackles. But the Bears ended up getting 3 sacks, 1 from Justin Jones, 1 from Rasheem Green, and also 1 from Yannick Ngakoue. But on the other side, defense kind of came to play. Now, we did say that this is a bad offense, but I will give flowers to this. I wish I could just give this game ball to the defense. The defense only allowed 6 points, and the Panthers are bad, yes. But the Panthers score more than 6 points a game, I'll tell you that. So it's nice to see the defense kind of continuously, hopefully they could keep doing well with Montez Sweat out there, but we'll talk about that a little bit more. But only 170 yards passing total for their offense and only 43 on the ground. Miles Sanders, we talked about it before, too good, -5 rushing yards, and Chuba Hubbard, 23 yards rushing, only 2.6 yards a carry. Their total was 2.7 yards a carry. So I want to actually just start there. The defense, bravo. That is less yards per carry than what they were averaging before. And also, they scored less points than they normally do. So I think that the defense, I still don't know why the middle of the field is always wide open. And we have good secondary players that just seem to give up all the passing yards in the world. There's still a lot of things that we can work on, but I do think that it's nice to see the defense only allow those 6 points. Now, yes, the punt return, the Amir Smith-Marset revenge game came back, and he ended up scoring a touchdown. Don't let that blindside you with, it was a good defensive performance overall, and the 3 sacks were solid. We talked about that they should be able to take advantage of this kind of bad offensive line, and they did take advantage of that offensive line. As for the offense, Tyson Bagent seemed to be holding the ball a little bit longer than expected, and I'm ready for Justin Fields. Like right now, I'm super ready for Justin Fields, and also I really want to see what Khalil Herbert has to offer. I was fully expecting him to be playing because he was a full participant all week. Turns out he was inactive and was not activated off of IR, so we still saw Deonta Foreman and Roschon Johnson carry the bulk of the carries, and neither of them averaging over 4 yards a carry. I still thought that it was a fairly solid game on the ground overall for them. But there's the ins and outs also from a coaching perspective. Offensive game plan, I still don't get. It's still a million screens. When you need 2 yards, you throw a screen. Doesn't make sense. And also you don't go for it on 2. You don't go for the 2-point conversion after the touchdown. Lots of little things that the Bears need to clean up to be a next level type of a team. But we're not here to break that down. We're here to talk a little bit more about giving out these game balls and who really kind of popped for me on the defense and the offense. And also, I'm kind of introduced a new segment, Take a Lap, right? If I'm the coach, who am I saying you've got to take another lap when it comes down to the practice? So let me know down in the description, down in the comments, if you are watching, who would you give a game ball out to on defense, and who would you give out a game ball to on the offense? For me, I have 2 game balls on both sides. Let's start with the defense. My first game ball is going out to Kyler Gordon. Now, I know Kyler Gordon did not get an interception. Kyler Gordon played a very good game, and we talked about it in the preview. Kyler Gordon has to have a good game against this team because they have Adam Thielen is their offense. Adam Thielen is their receiving core. And Kyler Gordon played very good coverage, and also in the running game came up and made a handful of very good stops. And let me see just how many stops he did have. 2 tackle for losses, according to ESPN. And for a slot corner, that's what we needed to see. The guy made some big plays and also broke up a couple passes. And his PFF grade overall, a 81.8 coverage grade. You love to see it. And from a defensive grade, the highest grade on the defense with an 84.6. The grade matches up. The tape matches up. Everything matched up. Kyler Gordon, you get the first game ball because he had such an important role and he really came through and really played well. Now, my next game ball. For those that are listening, don't know. For those that are watching, can actually just see it right in the side. But so it's not a huge surprise. But Montez Sweat. And this also wouldn't be a surprise even if you couldn't see who I give my game balls out to. Montez Sweat, to me, he looked good. I think that NFL Next Gen Stats had him charted as 8 pressures. I believe PFF has him charted for 7 pressures. No matter who's charting him, the guy got to the quarterback. Yes, he didn't get a sack, but you saw him really kind of cause that sack for Rasheem Green, where all Rasheem Green had to do was really kind of disengage from his block. Still a good play by Rasheem Green to do that, but really Montez Sweat is the one that pushes the quarterback out of the pocket and goes right to Rasheem Green. So that's why, to me, he gets a game ball because you see the impact this guy makes. We talked about it. He's not going to be someone who is absolutely freakishly dominant like how Khalil Mack was in 2018. What he's going to give you is this down in, down out consistency of beating the guy in front of him. On the left side, on the right side, it seemed like Montez Sweat was consistently beating his man and consistently making plays. And that's what you get out of the guy. And to me, he was always out there making plays. So to me, he gets the other game ball. Honorable mention, I will say the Wisconsin linebackers. I thought Jack Sanborn, TJ Edwards had a very good game. And that duo looks really good. And I hate saying that because we have Tremaine Edmonds for all this money that's locked up. And I looked at his contract. You can't really get out of it next year. You could trade him, but you're still eating a lot of that guaranteed money with that contract. So that's where, for us Bears fans, we have to hope Tremaine Edmonds can do well, right? With Montez Sweat back, we hope that Tremaine Edmonds can really do good. And then Sanborn is kind of that backup third linebacker that you have, the Nick Kwiatkowski role, where he can always fill in and play well for you. But those are my game balls for the defensive side of the ball. Let's talk about who takes a lap, right? Me as the coach on this defense, who do I look at and say, you have to take a lap? Now, someone that I was thinking about was Jaquan Brisker. I'm a huge Jaquan Brisker fan, huge supporter. He hasn't lived up to what I thought he would do. And a lot of that also has to do with how he performs in camp. He's always good in training camp. And it just seems like Jaquan Brisker right now, he plays best with Eddie Jackson right next to him. Eddie Jackson was back. The duo was back. And I thought that Brisker made a handful of plays like hitting the tight end, but the ball was already being dropped. And he did make a handful of plays in run coverage. But I feel like in pass coverage, he kind of struggles. He's not who I would say needs to take a lap, because the person to me that if I'm the coach and I'm looking at this going, you got to take a lap for this, you're in trouble. I'm saying it's Walker. I'm saying that Demarcus Walker, to me, if I'm choosing someone on this defense, he's the person that I'm saying you got to take a lap. And let me know in the comments too, who is your defensive player that you're saying, take a lap, you're in trouble? Because Demarcus Walker, to me, he had 21 pass rushing snaps, and he didn't register a single win. He didn't register a single pressure. And this is not a good offensive line. And the fact that you didn't get a single win is really concerning. And when you look at true pass sets as well, he had 12 true pass sets. What that means is it's a pass rushing down. You need to attack the quarterback, and he didn't win according to PFF stats, right? According to these stats, he did not win. And that's something that is concerning because he does have that contract, and you should be dominating. Now, I did see a play on tape where he did kind of bull rush someone. It seems like that bull rush is his move. We know that he's got some strength to play on the inside, but to me, he still kind of looks out of place at that defensive end spot. Move him more inside. He's more of a three-tech. He's more of a three-tech, more of a D tackle than I feel like as a D end. That's why, to me, he's my defensive player that I'm saying take a lap. Now let's flip over to the offensive side, and we're going to start with the offensive take a lap award. And let me know, as always, who do you think is the offensive player that kind of was the low light for you? And to me, I got to go Tyson Bagent. And I don't like saying that, but to me, Tyson Bagent, it's Tyson Bagent or Cody Whitehair or Lucas Patrick, because all those just kind of didn't seem too great. And I'm going to give it to Tyson Bagent just because Tyson Bagent, after the game that he played, everyone is ready for Justin Fields. Everyone is clamoring for Justin Fields. It just wasn't an exciting game, and it was fun while it lasted. And to me, Tyson Bagent, having him as a backup quarterback, I'm excited. It's nothing super crucial on it. It's just you're a backup quarterback. You did what needed to happen to win the game, but it just, DJ Moore was pissed, and you could tell it. DJ Moore is probably the one that's telling them take a lap. Like, this was my revenge game, and what did you do, right? So I'm going to give it to Tyson Bagent. I was really tempted for, it was either him or Cody Whitehair, because Cody Whitehair just continues to struggle out there. But I will tell you, let's go back to giving out game balls. Let's get back to the positivity. To me, someone who I'm giving a game ball out to, and if I was a coach, I would, to Braxton Jones. Braxton Jones didn't look the same last week, but comes back and has the highest pass blocking grade out of any Chicago Bear on this team, an 87.9, which is borderline elite. Yes, he gave up 2 pressures, but he still looked very solid, very smooth out there at the left tackle position. So to me, that's why he's getting my game ball, is you kind of came through adversity and coming off of an injury and looking good. And to me, if you can get Braxton Jones on a rookie contract, looking good with Darnell Wright, who has been a good rookie for us, with Tevin Jenkins, this is a really good core to this offensive line. So Braxton Jones, to me, keep it up, keep pounding, keep doing more. Yes, there were some mishaps, but I thought he had a very good game when looking back at it. And the next person who gets my game ball, I was going to say Cole Kmet, right? And I think a lot of people down in the comments would probably say Cole Kmet, but I'm giving it, actually, I did say Cole Kmet. I just changed it on one of the slides. I'm like, I thought I said Cole Kmet. It was Cole Kmet or DJ Moore, because I switched back and forth, and people that are watching on YouTube can literally see that I had DJ Moore on some slides, Cole Kmet on some other slides, because those guys continue to impress. They continue to make plays, and whoever is going to be at quarterback next year, I still hope it's Justin Fields, you kind of have these playmakers. Cole Kmet was someone I was critical of when they drafted, because he was still very raw. And you see him with the Bears, he's very good for a young quarterback like a Tyson Bagent. We saw this where he's able to block, then easy pass, gets the yards, and just really lowers his helmet and gets a big play, and also kind of fires up the sidelines just with his energy, the energy that he brings with how he played during the Carolina Panthers was infectious. And the reason why I also had DJ Moore out there is, man, I'm watching it with my dad's birthday was yesterday, so I'm watching it with my dad, my brothers, and we're just going, DJ Moore is special. DJ Moore is so good. He just gets the ball on his screen, which is Luke Getsy's favorite play, and then brings it up 10 yards. Like, he's such a good player, and I'm so glad that he's on his team, and on this team, and I feel bad that he wasn't getting the ball enough, because this is his revenge game. He's been with the Carolina Panthers forever, and you could see it. He wanted to show something, and he really couldn't. And I kind of feel bad for the guy because he wanted to show so much, but just wasn't able to. So those are my game balls. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I missed anybody, if I didn't talk about anybody specifically. But let's talk about what's next. There's a handful of things that are coming up this week. We got the long week ahead of us. Tyson Bagent, I said this last time, shouldn't be the quarterback, but it was on a short week. Now we have the long week. It really does feel like Justin Fields is going to be back out there throwing the football yet again with this injury that he has with his thumb. I talked about it last time. It's something that you want to slow play. You don't want him to re-aggravate it. You don't want it to get hurt even more. So the key thing is he going to be a full participant out there? Definitely something to be on the lookout for. And also, the running back position is going to be really, really big. Deonta Foreman has looked very good. Khalil Herbert, we know what he can do on the run. Also, for those that follow us out on Twitter, you saw me post a video about the one and only Roschon Johnson pass blocking, and my God, I actually wish that I had it right now. If you don't, if you're watching this right now, go out to Twitter, go out to Unbearable Sports, and you can see the video that I posted out there where he just literally takes a player and blocks him better than our offensive line. And then you see Lucas Patrick trip over his own feet, which then causes Tevin Jenkins to be tripped up, and then a pressure gets allowed. And also, I want to just kind of call something out. Tevin Jenkins technically allowed 3 pressures according to stats. I can definitely tell you one of those was caused by Lucas Patrick falling right behind him and causing him to trip over Lucas Patrick, which allowed Derek Brown to then get to the quarterback. So it's all about watching the tape, all about grinding that. But you also make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to like and subscribe out there on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this show. Make sure to rate 5 stars everywhere that you get your podcast. Have a great weekend. Have a great, long, extended time until the next Bears game. And hopefully we'll be talking about another Bears victory. With that, Unbearable Sports Podcast, we are out.
Yeah, she's got some nice long hair and you know that